Afternoon, everybody. We're all here. Here. I don't know which way you are. Here or here. How we all doing? Keeping safe? Everybody healthy, hopefully. Everybody healthy, hopefully. Quite a few in already. I hope you've been keeping yourself well after Sunday's live stream. Quite a few in, so I'll just do a few hellos to start with then. It is a bit warm today. It's windy outside, but it is nice and sunny. Just been sat outside with Mrs. Cruncher having me dinner, so all good. So let's go down through. Who have we got in? We got Derek Taffman. Afternoon, Derek. Theo. Derek first in today. You made it this time, Derek. First in today, mate. Theo. Afternoon, Theo. Mervyn. Hi, Mervyn. Mervyn said the Dynatron looks a bit like a TP41. Yeah, it does a little bit, Mervyn. Yeah, you're right. Michael Hyde. Afternoon, Michael. Theo. I think I've said hello to Theo yet. Forget who I've said hello to. Video Monkey. Afternoon, Video Monkey. Chris Brown. Hi, Chris. Daniel. Hi, Daniel. What else we got? Clive, Superbike Rider. How you doing, Clive? Hopefully you're keeping well, mate. I've got some pinging noise. I don't know what's going on there. Let's have a quick look what the pinging noise is. Let's have a look at what the pinging noise is. Sean has sent me a video. Oh dear. Andrew Elsford, afternoon. Everyone feeling vital? I'm feeling pretty vital, Andrew. I mean, vital parts are okay. George, Mr. George Christophe, how you doing, George? Benji's in again. Benji never fails to attend. Darren, afternoon, Darren, how are you? It is sunny here. Wind is dying down now, actually, so it's going to be quite nice later on this afternoon. So I'm not going to be on at mega time today, but, you know, I always say that, don't I? George has it on good authority that I may be planning to burn myself, blow up the radio, and fall asleep snoring. That was worse scenarios, really, because, you know, I've been out in the sun, had a couple ciders, and, you know, I'm chilled. I might go sleep. I might. You never know. You never know. Hi Andy back, how are you? And Doug, afternoon Doug. Man Cave, there he is. The Man Cave monster's in the house, look out. Barry, hey Barry's finally there. How you doing, Barry? All the gear, no idea. Chris, afternoon Chris. Colin Parnell, afternoon Colin, how are you? Did anyone watch a satellite come over last night? I did. I didn't know what it was, though. I was sat out in the hot tub last night, just looking up at the stars and looking at stuff moving around very weirdly. I thought, is that a plane? Is it a UFO? And then I came back in later and Chris had put a post up about satellite activity last night. It was supposed to be one of the best for the year so far. Is that right? I'm not sure. But yeah, certainly there was some activity up there last night, Chris. Definitely. I didn't realise what it was till I came in. Mrs. Cruncher thought she'd seen a shooting star. A shooting star? Happy days. Man Cave Mallet Man. Yes. Sean, you're gonna struggle to live that one down, mate. Tonight as well, Michael, is it? Ah, well. We shall be back out there tonight. Hopefully it's a bit clearer. It was a bit cloudy last night, but it looks it's going to be clear tonight. If it is, then I might even get a telescope out, but a little bit difficult to track satellites with a telescope because they move too quick. I seem very jolly. It could be something to do with lunchtime cider, Sean, but you never know. I have been working today. I've managed to get a couple of radios back off to their owners today. The Sony 2001D that I repaired the ribbon cable for. that one's all done and dusted and on its way back to its owner. And the Bush VTR 178 is also on its way back to its owner. So a couple more radios off the bench. Always good when they go, to be fair, because you get more room then. It's surprising how much 2 packing boxes and 2 radios take up, really, in this little room. There's meteor showers tonight, is it? My God, it doesn't stop. I am sort of, I'm what I would say, I'm an amateur beginner astronomer. Beginner. I've got myself a telescope and it tracks stuff. I can do weird stuff with it and it will track things, but I've still got to get my head around what I'm supposed to be seeing in the sky at what times and all that. It does really throw me a little bit. Hi John, how are you? Good morning from Canada. Good afternoon from the UK, mate. You saw 8 of the satellites, even when the missus came out to watch. The clock's keeping good time. Glad to hear it, Jess. Patrick Moore knows best. Yeah. Can you see Uranus? Ah! I'm not saying anything to that, Video Monkey. Hi Tim, how are you? I'm good, mate, thank you. So everybody remember how we got on Sunday. I think all of you that are in here now were there on Sunday. And so we managed to get the Atlantis fired up and working on FM. But AM was totally, absolutely dead, wasn't it? So really today is about revisiting the radio. And to be honest, as soon as I'd sort of had my tea on Sunday, I pulled the manual out and I sat down watching telly and I just had the manual in front of me and I was going over it, and a couple of things occurred to me. I thought, that's something that I could have quickly checked in the stream, but I didn't. I forgot to do it. So and of course it's come and bit me in the ass now, because it's the fault is what I thought it probably would be, but I just didn't think to check it at the time. So there you go. The only other thing I wanted to talk about, first of all, before we go and look at the radio, is the whole crystal radio building thing. I've had some response from the people in the messenger group. There's quite a few. There's probably half a dozen of us so far that say, yeah, thumbs up. We want to have a go at building a crystal radio, but not really had a lot of feedback from the YouTube community as such. So really, if I could ask you, if you want to have a go at making or building along with me a crystal radio, then please leave it in the comments of this video, if you would. Not in the chat here, but in the comments. Just give me a thumbs up. Yeah, I'd like to build a crystal radio, because I want to get an idea of numbers. There's no point me sitting here and building a crystal radio along with 5 people when we potentially got 70 or 80 watching. So if we get quite a few that want to do it, then I'll do it. But if not, then we'll just probably do it between ourselves. But yeah, if you could just leave something in the comments. You're welcome to put something in the chat here if you're up for it. Then let me know, just to get a bit of a feel really as to whether it's worth doing. And obviously we need time for people to get the parts together. So I was thinking maybe this Sunday coming, but that's probably a bit quick for people to get all the bits and pieces together, ready to build one. I mean, I'm fairly lucky in that I've got most of it here already, so I don't need to order anything in myself. I could just go ahead and start one straight away. But a lot of other people are going to need to buy in little bits and pieces, especially if you're going to do something with a tuning cap. Then you're going to need to get something like that. So let's have a look what we're doing. The green wire, Jess reckons. No, it wasn't the green wire, Jess. Hi Stephen, how are you? PC is a bit slow today. Good job TV is on channel. Venus is the brightest object in the night sky at the moment. Yeah, we were looking at that. Venus to us, Chris, is due south. Pretty much above the horizon. Not that high above the horizon, but literally dead in front of us when we're sat outside. Yes. So there you are. That's my little bit about the crystal radio. If you fancy building it and building a basic radio and maybe elaborating on it in future streams and building different blocks onto it, then let me know if you want to do that. And the other thing that I put up today on my channel, I don't know if any of you have seen this. Some of you obviously have because people have been voting on it. But let's just find it. Okay, let's take that off. Let's go to screen cap. Let's pop that across. So those of you that follow me on YouTube will know that there's a community tab, and every so often I'll just pop something on there just to keep you on your toes. And this morning I popped this on here, and it really is just to find out what you want to see on future videos. So I've put up 5 topics there. There was one that I was going to put up, but I didn't have enough. I don't know whether it wouldn't let me add another one, but I was going to put up sort of like kit building, but I couldn't fit that in. So we got transistor radio repair, Volv radio repair, amateur radio and CB radio, record players or vintage computers basically. So it looks like at the moment we're well ahead with transistor radio repairs, which surprised me, to be fair, because I thought Volv radio might be more, but obviously transistor radios is where I am personally, really. I don't specialise in transistor radios, but I try and keep to transistor radios if I can. I'll obviously deviate into stuff as I get it in, if I enjoy working on something, having to play with something. Volv portables are my thing, really, rather than full-on Volv sets. You know, the main, what do you call them, tabletop sets. I prefer portable stuff, really. But yeah, if you do want to participate in that, look, please go in there, and whatever takes your fancy, try and do just 1 vote each. Or if there's a couple subjects, then by all means click a couple. But so far it's only 11 votes on there, look. But at the moment, transistor radios is well out in front. So there you are. So as I say, if you subscribe to me, you should be able to get to that. I'm not sure how you find it, but it's on the community tab when you go into my homepage. Okay, that's that done and dusted. Where are we now then? Let's just catch up with the chat, and then I will crack on and have a look at this Atlantis page refresh. There's a few more now, George, is there? We'll have another look at it at the end of the chat. Look, so if you haven't voted, just pop your vote in there on my YouTube channel, on the community page. Let me know what you prefer, and we'll have a look at it at the end of the chat today, at the end of the stream, should I say. And yes, as Sean is saying, anybody that's interested in having a chat through the day, if you are stuck at home with nothing to do, then if you drop me a message on Radiocruncher on Facebook, then I'll see about getting you added to the messenger group. There's a lot of people that are stuck at home, and we've run the Radiocruncher group now for quite a while. Must be knocking on 12 months. I'm not sure how long it's been going now, but certainly is busy in there. Bill, how are you doing, mate? I haven't seen you for a while. Hope you're all right. Could only vote once you voted for transistor, but also like more Volv radio. It's about your preference, really, Clive. So you know, if your top one was transistor, then that's the way to go, mate. Vote for your top one. Lyrid meteor shower tonight between midnight and dawn. Don't know whether I'll make it that long, Chris. Afternoon, Robert Cross. How are you, mate? Kit building is fun. Do you want a few? I don't mind building kits at all, Derek. I quite enjoy it. It's as long as it's entertaining for everybody and I can show it. I think with the airband kit that was quite good because I managed to get the cameras in, show you what I was building. We had a bit of fun building it. So yeah, you know, I'm always up for kit building. I quite enjoy that. Just give me something different to do, because I can go on like changing AF117 transistors and recapping radios till the sun goes down, but you know, it can get a bit boring, can it, at times. Afternoon, Jax. You're not late. You're not that late, mate. 15 minutes, mate. 15 minutes, that's all. Yeah, we've always got someone on the messenger group pretty much 24 hours a day. There's people from all over the world on it, so you know, you're welcome to join in. Just send me a message on my Facebook page, and I'll see about getting you added. Afternoon, Rook. How are you? Patronics Nick. What's happening? Not a lot at the moment, Nick. We're just having a quick chat, mate, before I start cracking onto it. Aim my outside camera to the sky. Best of the year, Michael, tonight, is it? We'll have to have a look tonight then. Normally I've got I paid for an app, actually. It's very rare I actually pay for an app, but there was a really good one on the App Store, which I bought, and it is Star Walk 2. And it's really good because basically you just look through. I don't know if you can see that or not, but you basically you can't see because I'm too close. But you basically look through the app. You shine that app. We look the camera. The camera puts the sky onto the backdrop, so you can actually look up in the sky, and it actually tells you which is which star is which, and really good. I mean, this tells me that at the back, well, I've got a it's got all sorts of Andromeda, Aries. We've got to I've got to calibrate it at the moment, so afternoon, Mike. Just managed to get connected. You've not missed anything at the moment, mate. Just trying to calibrate my phone now. You don't want to do it now. Sod off phone. Oh well. It's available on both jacks, actually. So afternoon, Mike. Yeah, I've just really went over. I've got a poll going on my on my YouTube channel at the moment. This one. So if you'd like to put your votes on there, let me just turn that app off. Just turn that off for a minute. So yeah, I've just put a few little sort of categories there that I'm looking for guidance, really, just to give me an idea of what to do in future videos, which way to go, really. At the moment, obviously, transistor radio repair is way out in front with 91%, so I'll keep an eye on that. We'll revisit that at the end of the stream today. And also talked about the crystal radio build, Mike. I don't know if you were interested in that either, but let me know if you are. Afternoon, Rob. How are you? Gavin. Afternoon, Gavin. Shift done so you can relax. Ideal. Stellarium is a good app. Hi, Dave. How are you? iOS has Sky Guide. How about building a radio telescope in your back garden? I've already got a telescope, Chris. I don't want another one. Just got a couple decent eyepieces fairly recently, actually, because the ones that come with the scope as standard are pretty rubbish. But I'm amazed at how much better it is with decent eyepieces, to be honest. Cool. Chat's going quick. Luminos is the best sky app, I think, by some margin, but not cheap. Star Chart on iOS? Yes, I've looked at Star Chart, Clive. Yeah, but to be fair, Jax, if it's a massive margin, then that gives me a good idea. If it's 1%, then it means I can split myself 50-50 between a couple of things, can't I? I can do a bit of everything. But the idea is just to give me some guidance, that's all, Jax. So don't think too much into it, mate. Afternoon driver, film shortwave. How are you? Has Mrs. Cruncher killed the neighbours yet? I'm saying nothing, George. You always wanted to visit a radio telescope. Yeah. Which one do you have for stargazing? What telescope, Theo? Do you mean? Or app? Do you mean the app or the telescope, Theo? I'm trying to think what my telescope is now. I'll have to go and have a look at it in a minute if you want to know. Oh, app. Yeah, it is Starwalk 2, Theo. I won't shut up now. It's quite good. It's got Sky Live, so it tells you pretty much what's in the sky at the moment. It's got a news thing on it. Let's turn that flipping music down. That does my head in. Yeah, there we go. That's what Chris is on about, the Lyrid meteor shower. April the 19th. It's active from the 16th to the 28th and produces its maximum activity around the 22nd of April each year. So that's over the next couple of days. So there you go. So we're into telescopes now. I would put telescopes up as one of the options as well. We'll have to find out how to vote on a future item. How about an 8-track player? We have looked at 8-track players in the past, Mike. I've got three 8-track players here, so I've done a fair bit on them. So driver was building an FM transmitter, but found he's got a few capacitor shorts, so he's building an antenna instead. Hi, Linton, how are you? Planetarium, was that in his own personal bar, George? Cheers, Bill. Thanks for popping in, mate. Anyway, let's get on to the main event today. Then really is carrying on with the amazing Dynatron Atlantis. From Sunday, which is keeping my pint of cider company at the moment. So, as I said, I I did a little bit of research on Sunday night. And came up with the solution, believe it or not. I found what was wrong with it. So I've just temporarily just put it back in its case for safety, really. But it's all undone still. Yeah, it was no medium wave, long wave or short wave. Basically nothing on AM at all. Hi Derek. You're going to put up an inverted V for 80 meters in the next few days. Whew. You'll have to give me a shout on that, Derek. I can get 80 meters here, mate. Should be able to get you on 80, I'd have thought. 80 works fairly well into UK, so yeah, you'd have to let me know when you get it up. I've been tempted to put an inverted V up myself. I've got plenty of room to do it. I've got a whole field behind me I can use, but I haven't got enough coax to run from the field back to the house, so it's going to cost me an arm and a leg in coax, really, to get back to the house. Afternoon, Mike, Racing Demon, how you doing, mate? Welcome, Mike. So yes, Dynatron Atlantis. Now, let me flick you onto my overhead camera, and we'll have a quick look. So this is basically what I started looking at. Now the goats are very kindly keeping it company for me at the moment. So the goats are pointing to the area of interest. Hopefully you can all see that writing. It looks fairly small to me, but then I've only got a small screen here. Hopefully you can see. Yeah, you can see that. I'm sure you can. So I was just having a look down through, really seeing what job each transistor did, because obviously we changed VT3, 4, 5 and 6. We changed all of those. The VT3 originally I thought was the AM mixer, but it turns out it isn't. It's the IF amplifier for FM, and it's also a frequency changer for AM. But the IF amplifier for FM made me think, well, hang on, it's working on FM, so surely that points to that transistor being okay, because that was the one I suspected. We put an AF125 in there, if you remember rightly. So that really ruled out that transistor, so I thought, well, I need to start looking further. So I was just having a look down through the list, going down through. And thinking, yeah, no, that's FM AM, so that should be right. AFC is going to be FM. AF amplifier is obviously in the output stage, AFC diode, and then we get down to here, AM detector. So I was really looking for something that was unique to AM. Of course, AM detector is unique to AM, so I thought, you didn't check that, Graham. So we were going through the switch bank, if you remember, and messing about. There was a wire cut off the switch bank that we couldn't work out where that had come from, but in the other radio it was not there anyway. But totally missed out the AM detector. And the balancing diodes are for FM as well. So really that sort of rang alarm bells. And this was just literally after I finished eating my tea. So let's get onto my screen now. Let's get onto my screen and I'll show you. Let's get onto my... Okay, well, I'm up in the corner, so I shouldn't deviate. So this is this circuit really for the AM section. Well, it's FM as well, to be fair. So this is the 3 transistors that we've changed, and there's another one further up that you can't see in this, but these are the 3 that we changed: VT3, 4 and 5. If you remember, we put for VT3 we put an AF125, and then we put the Russian GT322Bs in for VT4 and VT5. And obviously this is our FM switch here, and everything really is routed through that FM switch before it goes off to the other switches to switch between medium wave, short wave and long wave. So everything's routed back through this. So this is when I thought, right, okay, where is this D2 diode? And it's up here. And you can see by the dotted line that it's actually inside a can. So it's not something that's easy to get to. There's a few other components. There's a resistor and a couple capacitors in there. But the other thing is, let's just go in a little bit. Get rid of that. Is it's a weird component. It's an SFD107. Now I've never heard of that. I've got quite a few diodes, and I've come across some weird germanium diodes in my time, but I've never seen an SFD107. So that's one thing. If anyone knows of a source of that, I mean, they are on eBay, but most of them are abroad, or unless you want to pay £7 for one over here. I think there is some cheaper ones, but it's crazy money for a single diode. So that was it. And when I started looking at the traces, if we follow the trace back down, comes down here. It's the bottom trace here. It pops up through here, look, through a resistor. It's linked into T2, which is also part of the AM circuit. We keep coming across, it's the bottom line, we come up and we're straight into the FM switch, and there's a branch there. It comes up, it's into the other part of the FM switch at the top. So basically that FM switch is switching this diode in as far as I could see. So I thought, well, if that diode is shot, then that's the radio totally dead on AM. And I was right. Let's have a look. So I took the cover off, pulled it out, took the cover off, and there's our little diode, if I can get it in the shot. There's our little SFD 107, was it, or SDF? I can't forget. SFD 107 diode. There he is. So what I did is and it's difficult to get the legs off of these, I'll tell you. To desolder that was a real pain. There's very, very fine wires. You see this really fine wire. It looks quite big there, but to be honest, that's probably not much bigger than a hair. That is tiny. And in the end, it did actually break away from that pin, so I have resoldered it now. But yeah, took it off of the pin, popped it on my transistor, not my transistor, yeah, on my component tester, and sure enough, it was no longer a diode. It was just showing us no component at all. You can see there, this is the back of the diode as it is in the circuit, so you couldn't see that from the front, but there's a big chunk of glass out of it there. I did look at it under a high powered magnification, and it was actually showing as, well, it looked fine. You know, I can see the little element inside. I can see this square plate in here. A little, I suppose it's a little bit like a cat's whisker, isn't it? The little, whatever it is, the materials that they use in them. It looked intact, but it was just shown as no component. So what I did, I popped this one back in. This is a 1N60. That's right, 1N60, which, I mean, if we look at the datasheet archive, is that the one? Yeah, okay. So if we look at the SFD 107 here, we look at the different settings, the different specs on it. Sorry, not settings. There's not really much that matches up as such. There's some of these weirder ones, but this figure here is quite high, and that is its IR. That's current and voltage in microamps. And the only one that was fairly close, I suppose, is this one. But then these other figures are then out, because this has got some maximum of 1 volt forward voltage and 4.5 milliamps forward frequency. This is reversing it. Forward current, Graham, not frequency. Where's the goats? What's going on here? It's the cider talking. Anyway, yeah. So really, this one wasn't ideal as such. Although its reverse voltage and current was pretty much identical. So I went with this one. But the other one is AA130. Never heard of that one either. I've got AA119s. And they give the AA116 as a direct equivalent to it. But again, the voltages are different. It sort of worries me when it's forward voltage is 1 volt and the one I've put in is half a volt. I don't know how relevant that is. But as I say, I'm not an electronics engineer or anything. I'm just a sort of hobbyist, really. Right, so where were we? So yeah, I popped that one in. And I reattached this wire here, which was a little monkey. And I say that's just really me drawing out where it went, just for my own reference. And you should be able to hear this video. Let me see if I turn my sound up. You should be able to hear this video. Okay, so here we go, live test. And this was live. Diode is in. Can is back together. And there, all reinstalled. On medium wave. Power connected. Set the power on. 18 volts. Oh-ho!
Treat being kitten supposed to be for single use only. We're hearing this many distraught calls from nurses, and nursing staff calling us saying that they feel worried about going to
long wait.
Many more business to go bust. The former Prime Minister Tony Blair today described the potential impact of a protracted lockdown.
Shortwave. No aerial connected, but it is working. What a relief. Okay, so here we go, live test. Diode is in. There you are. He's only fixed it. He's only fixed it. So let me catch up with the chat a minute and then we'll crack on and get some more work done on this. Link is safe moderates. What are you on about now, George? Won't you need an amp over that distance? I don't need an amp really, Theo. I've got 200 watts comes out the back end of the set, so it should be fine. Homebrew open wire feeder could well be a ladder line feeder. I would think George would be. But saying that's probably not a lot cheaper, is it? I don't know. I'm not sure yet, George, but I will have to put something up there at some stage. Just catch up with the chat then in a minute. Goats are reading too. Yep. I doubt whether I'll get you on SSB on 2 meters, Nick. I have got a Yagi for 2 meters, but it's mainly a portable one. Sherlock Cruncher. Goats, the goats. They're the goats in the machine. Any old germanium will do. Yeah, you never heard of that. 1N34 for testing purposes. As I say, I popped in 1N60 in there in the end, Doug, which is supposed to be an equivalent. And I actually got that equivalent. Let's just fire up this. Just to make it complete, I suppose, the whole story of it. I did a cross-reference search on the SDF 107 and it came up with these. So AA 112, 114, 116 or a 1N60. So the 1N60 was, out of that lot, was the only one that I had. And I looked at the OA90s, but they were so different in spec that I thought I'm not going to risk it, to be fair. I don't know how sensitive it is in the set. And I didn't want to upset the balance of it or knock the sensitivity down on it, so I just went for something that I knew would have been good. And Paul very kindly, Mr. Cody's very kindly offered me a complete transformer with the diode already in it, so thank you for that, Paul. But in the end we didn't need it, but cheers, thanks very much for the offer, mate. So there you are. That's where I came up with the 1N60 idea. So let me carry on with the chat. I did check the transistor, George, and it was fine. No issues with that. It is tiny, Sean. Cider visor on. Oh yes. Thanks, David. It did take a little while to get to that. It took a couple ciders and a lot of studying of that manual to work that one out. But it was fairly. It's one of the things you should check, really. But when it's in a can like that, it's a pain in the neck because you've got to desolder the whole thing off the board to get the thing out. So thanks very much. Thanks, Catherine. Cheers, Mike. It was tricky. It was a tricky fault. You're not annoying me, Rob. Just carry on, mate. I don't know, Doug, because Doug's saying he wonders how the diode got damaged. Well, there was no bit of glass in the can at all, so it's like it was put in like it. Whether it got damaged by someone bending the wire to initially put it in, I don't know. I don't know whether, I'm assuming that those cans are assembled by hand, not machine. So whether somebody's like just bent it a little bit sharp and just snicked a bit off, chucked it in, and it may never have ever worked. It may not have worked from day one. I don't know. I don't know. Derek! Thanks, mate. Secret mallet user could be. And Mike Atlantis. Yes, the Atlantis lives, Mike. Thank you very much for the super chats there, people. Thanks a lot. Hi Jeff, how are you? Fresh look. Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? When you're trying to talk to people and you've got the cameras on and your head gets a bit fuzzy at times. Well, mine certainly does, especially if I'm eating. I get a real fuzzy head and it's difficult to see sometimes. But yeah, something I should have checked, and I literally could have checked that and had it going within the time that I was messing about trying to find the switch issue, which wasn't there in the first place. The switch was working, it was just had nothing to switch through because the diode was knackered. But I did have a picture of the diode on the tester, but I can show you that again in a minute if needed. So right, I thought what we'd do is we crack on and get on and do it. Yeah, Rob's saying it's not uncommon for these diodes. Probably, as far as detector diodes go, Rob, in my time repairing radios, I probably had half a dozen, if that. So it's not. It is fairly. It's something you should look for. Put it that way. It's something. If your AM's dead, you need to look at the detector. So you do the normal stuff. You check your oscillator, your IFs, and then really your next thing should be the detector. I mean, the initial thing like cleaning the switch bank and checking the wires are on the ferrite loop are sort of givens really, but when you start going into component level, it's got to be your transistors and then that diode. Thanks, Mike. Super work on Mike's Atlantis. Mike Atlantis is Atlantis. It's not his yet, but it will be. And Mrs. Crunch has just gone and brought me up another cider. Christ, I'm going to be hammered by the end of this. So timescale wise, I'm going for probably about 6:30 finish today, people. So if I'm waffling on and I'm gone past that time, just, you know, send me lots of messages. So Graham, get off. You're overdue. Right, so let's get you back on the bench. I think we're okay there. You should be able to see. Let's get me picture in picture on the webcam. There we go. I haven't got my iPad though, which is a pain. I'm going to need to go and get that in a sec. There we go. Right, so let's get this apart again. As I say, I've just temporarily put it back together. Just rested it in there for safety, really. So we'll quickly connect it back up again, make sure it's still working, because these things, you all know, you've all had this happen before. You've worked on something, you've spent a lot of time on it, it's working fine, you go to turn it on the next day and all of a sudden it's not working again. So let's make sure that that's not the case here. I'll nip down and get my iPad in a second. Make sure we're still on 18 volts, yes we are. So as I say, people, please take part in my little survey there on my YouTube community page. Let me know what you want to see in the future, and I'll do my best to do that for you. Right, fire the hole. We'll connect it up. What are we on at the moment? Let's go to medium wave.
I hope you're taking the time out for nice tea.
As usual, there's not a lot of channels here on medium wave. We can get the little Sony antenna over just to give us a little bit of a boost. Let's quickly do that. So medium wave, long wave, power on. This should give us a bit of a boost on medium wave. Good song that.
My top right has changed again today. I'm up.
It doesn't. And don't forget, if you want to appear on our BBC Radio program, you can. I'll read out the emails. Your walkie-talkies with them actually still working is quite short, really.
I'm not penalised.
Also have magazines to download, story time, bring along bouts and rhyme sessions, Lego club books and quizzes, really family history as well. You can take a look at.
So
social distancing rules. And
so let's check long wave. It's like the same thing. Let's move that over to the long wave aerial, which is a bit more difficult because the tuning gang's right there. No.
The first line is we'll just do it one more time for luck, but I think you got it. And then the low.
some more lives.
So there you go. So we can try it on shortwave as well. Let's do that. Let's switch that to shortwave. Pop the shortwave on. Just going to click that onto the bottom of the aerial. We're not going to get a lot of shortwave this time of day, though, to be fair.
Çalışmalar sağlıklı günler diliyoruz size.
Got one there.
Sağ olun efendim. Yönetimin Körçü Sayın Oğuz Çelikkol'la dünyanın gündemini konu.
Sounds like China radio. What's that from?
Bütün umutlar tüken.
In this meantime, a million.
Bit of chanting for you. Cheers, everybody.
So there's less attention that is being paid to the coordination efforts, which is really critically needed at the moment. And the Donald Trump 2 weeks ago...
That's the USA by the sound of it, which is... For this time of day, that is pretty good to get the US in here.
That some people think that these are it's the coronavirus, but you have to be careful for right now.
That's American as well. So I think we can safely say that that is sorted. We haven't finished the electrics yet because there's other bits that need doing in it. And if anybody was wondering what the bit of kit that I was using there, that was the Sony AN1 aerial. So this is its sort of like amplifier box, antenna controller they call it. And I did post some pictures the other week of the aerial up on the roof. So it does long wave, medium wave, short wave basically. It's just like an amplifier and connected to an external aerial. And this is just a ferrite coupler, ferrite bar antenna coupler. So if you ever get a chance to get one of these, then highly recommend it. It's really has transformed what I can get in here. I have got the broadband power line adapter turned off today, and I've had it turned off since Saturday actually, because we've managed at the moment on our normal Wi-Fi with the telly. So obviously a hardwire connection does perform better, but at least this lets us listen to our old radios. So there we are. That's where we are with it at the moment. So let me just turn around this way and I'll catch up with the chat, and then we'll crack on and carry on work with it. We'll carry on working with it. So let's have a look down through then. George is reminding me that it's a copyright strike. I know that too well, George. What are we on about here? Hi Ganesh, how are you? Sorry mate, didn't see you pop in there. Welcome Ganesh. I'm on the good side of Mrs. Cruncher. Yeah, Mrs. Cruncher's good as gold. She certainly has lined me up. Look at that. I'm double banked. That should be a fine, really, shouldn't it? If I was at darts, that'd be a fine. Strongbow. It's not Strongbow, Video Monkey. It's The General by Sanford Orchards. Amazing stuff, but it's 8.4%, so it's got to be taken very slowly. A bit like medicine, really. Libra set thing. Have you recapped the amp? No, not done that yet, Derek. That's on the cards. It's still working, Mike. Good stuff. My name, Ganesh, is Graham. Should be able to get 252 on long wave. Probably can. I've not got the dial plate on at the moment though, Mike. Not Mike. Sorry, Jax. Jax, or was it Driver? Sorry, Driver. I'm getting confused now. Radio 1 is on 247. I don't think I can get Radio 1 on long wave here, Jax. So Sean is saying the new rules, YouTube new rules, if you read, you're allowed under 10 seconds of copyright music for demonstrations now. Is that right? And it doesn't sound like a bag of nails at all, George. And I don't know why, but this microphone doesn't get on very well with it at all. I listened back to some of the audio on FM from Sunday's video, and here it sounded amazing, but on the audio, on the video, it sounded terrible. So it's not the radio, it's the audio coming out the mic. I've not got it set up right for music. It's fine for voice, but not for music. It sounds fab but loud. I did probably have it a bit loud, Mike. Afternoon, Gary. How are you? It's loud. It is the microphone, people. So I got the gain turned up quite high on the mic. The mic is peaking. I can see the mic peaking on the screen here. I ought to pop it down a fraction really, because it is loud. Let's just take the volume down to so it's there we go. That should be a bit better. Still hitting the red a little bit. I got the gain turned up a bit high on the back of the mic. That's all. They're mono, Derek, not stereo. Rob wants to try shortwave at night. Yes, Rob, if you want to just chuck yourself a wire out your window, connect it onto your telescopic aerial. Of a night time, you'll find you've got loads of stations. Yeah, I've not heard of that. Sean, this 10-second rule. I'll have to look that up, mate. One eye on the garden, Gary. What's up? You got seed out that someone's going to steal? Yeah, the doll face does need a good dusting. It needs a full-on service, Doug. We're just trying to get it working, really. Yeah, 8.4 Video Monkey is good stuff. Oh, so George is saying that you have to appeal if it's under 10 seconds. Right, okay. Afternoon, Pat. Yeah, BBC 4 on long wave is pretty much achievable nationwide here, Rob. So, will you be working on the Sony ICF SW77? Got another one coming in, John, at the moment. The other one went back. I have got another one coming in for a recap soon. So yours has got 3 snapped preset FM dial cords. Dial cords? Get the mic boom off the bench. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Gary. I can't at the moment. No chance, mate. There's no room in here. I've got to get my lapel mic either done under guarantee or I've got to fix it myself. I'll probably end up fixing it myself. Alright, okay, Jax. Sorry, didn't get that, mate. Yeah, so my lapel mic, it sounds fine. This one, for some reason, I've got to turn it. It's in cardioid at the moment, so it's just directional to me. So you're listening to the audio off the side. If I turn the mic right the way around so it's facing the radio, it'll sound a lot better. It's the Trixie 3000, Jeff. So do you mean that some of the ferrite cores are broken in it? Because you're saying something about the FM dial cords. You've got 3 snapped FM dial cords. Sounds a bit dodgy. Pardon me. Right. Let's crack on with this then, because we have got some work to do. The audio amp is definitely not as good as it should be, so we've got to do that. But I want to finish the main board first. So let's put the power back off of it. As I say, this is not something that's going to probably be done today, but we can just pop in and out different videos and get it done, really. So the amp board will do last. There's some really dodgy caps that, well, not caps. There's a dodgy transistor we've got to do, and it's the one that nobody likes doing. All the people that have repaired these, getting the cap off. Where am I? Get off with you, silly man. I should be on that one for picture in picture. That's better. This is the issue in here. There's an AF11 whatever it is cap in there. I think it's an AF115. And the other one that's really difficult to get to is this one down here, an AF116. So both of those are a real pig to get to, but they've got to be done. I think that one's the AFC, and this one's the FM front end. So I think probably the the GT322Bs will work fine in those two positions, although in the past I've just put AFs back in there, and I may do that today. I may just pop a couple AF117s in there. So anyway, cheers everybody. Let's crack on. Actually, what I will do is just get my iPad a minute, so bear with me a second. I'll get you down so you can have a good look at this radio, and I'm just going to go and get my iPad a minute so I can view the chat a bit easier. So the two areas of real fun are this one and this board, and the one that the that diode was in is this can here at the back. That was the one that's got the diode that broke. So bear with me, I'm just going to nip down and get the iPad a second. Okay, back in the room. Right, let's get my iPad fired up a minute. Bear with me. Goat. We've got the goat. I don't know what the goat sounds like on camera. So let's just get my chat up for the stream. Live control room. There we go. Let's pop my chat out. I can listen along with whatever you're up to. There we go. Just about. Struggling for space on the bench here again today for some reason. I've got pints of cider everywhere here. This Cruncher's hooked me right off. Right off? Right up. Even. Dear, oh dear. Right. I want to put my second pint of cider. It's going to have to go over there. For a minute, because I haven't finished the first one yet. I'm sure she's trying to get me drunk. Always good fun though, isn't it, when the Cruncher's had a few. Spanky! How you doing, Spanky? Right, how are we doing? Benji can't get coffee anywhere, Daniel. Some things are ridiculously in short supply, aren't they? So Sean is going back on his things. He's not allowed to play any copyright music on YouTube at all. He was misled by non-YouTube news. Police hunting toilet roll thieves are following a trail of skid marks. Very good. Very good. Right. Okay. So yeah, what I was trying to say was obviously these two areas. I don't know what you can see there, but yeah, this can and this little board here are the two trickiest areas to work on. I've got some caps to do on this board, so I thought we'd tackle those first and see how we get on. I've done a couple in there that were in that AM circuit that we were trying to fault find. But there's another 1, 2, 3. There's another 4 to do. These two here are on the meter circuit, so you can see they go up and power the meter. Very strange setup this is, with resistors hanging in the air. It's not Dynatron's finest moment. That let's just get you down. You can have a look at what I'm on about there. Once the focus catches up that I've just messed up. Can you see that? It's literally, we've got two resistors just hanging in thin air there. Not the best design, that really, is it? You think they could come up with something a bit better than that. And these capacitors, they just got their legs uninsulated. It's all very much an afterthought. That I think that somebody's made a real cock up there, or they added the meter at a later stage in the development. I don't know. I don't know. You don't know. So yeah, we've got to do those two caps there. There's one hidden just down underneath there that you can just see underneath that capacitor. And there's one of the ones in the back. And there, can you see that? Yeah, there's one in under there. You can see one that I've done, and in beside that there's one that I haven't done. They don't tend to be that far out, those aluminium ones. These possibly will be, but again, it's just for meter deflection. It's nothing of major importance. But the meter is a big part of this radio. It's if you've ever had one of these little transistor radios, especially for shortwave, that's got a meter on it, it does make the whole experience a lot better for you, because you can make sure you're actually tuned right in properly on a station rather than slightly off. So let's get these done. Let's get them done. Let's zoom out a bit because I'm in a bit close now, and we'll crack on. Otherwise, we'll be here till midnight. So let's power up the desoldering tool. Yeah, this has got the same issue that yours had, Sean, in that it's had a whack and it's bent. So I'm going to have to try and straighten that, which is a bit scary. It looks like a stainless steel shaft. What I don't want to do is crack it and snap it. Yeah, stainless steel. It's lovely, lovely bit of metal. I'd hate to break that. The problem is at the moment it's actually rubbing on the case as it turns round. So I can leave it as it is and just drop it down a little bit. Probably better than trying to bend it, but I will have a go at bending it just to see how soft it is. Blowtorch on stainless steel, that'll soften it a bit, George, will it? You ended up having to shave a hair off the case on yours, Sean, did you? But yeah, it does make it's like Bang & Olufsen do this quite a lot. This weighted tuning wheel just makes it glide better. A lot of the high-end hi-fi stuff had gliding tuning stuff, so I assume that Dynatron just wanted to do the same. I don't know whether to pop a little bit of heat shrink on that, just for... It's easy to touch them together. Look, that's crazy, really. They probably... Yeah, they put like a little hook in the end of it. I might just stick some heat shrink over that. How are we doing? Not up to temperature yet. Let's see what tip I got in. Not that one. I was messing around with a cordless telephone earlier. It's doing some strange stuff. Just get led into all sorts of stuff here, I do. Grundig and some of the other valve sets did too. It does make a difference, George, doesn't it? It just gives it that, I don't know, it just gives it a feel of quality, doesn't it? Hi Rob! Just finished a baby Dynatron. Good little set, but a Far East manufacturer. That's that little plastic one that you showed the other week, wasn't it? Right. I think we're nearly up to temperature. Yeah, we're nearly up to temperature. So let's get these caps done on this main board. Then we'll move on to this pig of a board here. Then I think this one's going to be a live stream in its own to get that one out. I'm sure that'll take a whole live stream that well to get it out properly, anyway, so to speak. Oh, don't tell me that that one's in underneath that shield again. Oh. I had to take this shield off to do the there's a shield on the back, so I had to take this one off to do the diode that was in that can. Looks like I'm going to have to take it off again to do that one. Oh well, not to worry. Soldered it all back on as well, thinking that I'd done there, but I should have done that cap while I was at it, I suppose. My own fault. Totally my own fault. To be fair though, this soldering iron makes very short work of it. Very light work of it. Off. Let's turn that down a bit. It's a bit mental at the moment. 360. Let's go back down to 330, 340. Right, where is he then? He is there to there. Radio's not service friendly. Not really. What it is, but it's got to have been dropped to get a whack like that. I suppose the weight of it just carries the force on and. Primaries like to help out where they can. They've done this whole curling the leg round thing again. Why have they done that? They've done it just for me. I don't know if anybody's come. Well, I'm sure you all have come across this before. Anyone that's been working on radios. Some of these old sets, the solder goes crystalline, shall I say? You try and desolder it, it won't desolder, and it looks like it's got powder on it after you've desoldered it. some sets are fine, but a lot of sets are like it for some reason. A lot of the older sets. That's not. Unfortunately, what they've done is they've wrapped the ends of these. So I have to just cut the ends off of the wires. Let's just wick that off before it flies off and gets me in the eye, which wouldn't be good. Yeah, it's a strange phenomenon, Doug, but it definitely happens. I don't tend to find it on Valve sets, so it tends to be on some of this older transistor stuff. The Roberts RT1 is one of the ones that comes to mind that I do have a lot of trouble with. Ow, cool, that's hot. Hopefully they marked the board on this one. Hopefully, yes they have. Let's just get that one out. Yeah, like I say, Sean, the momentum keeps it going, doesn't it? So, oh, 5 microfarads, 64 volts. 4.7 then, that's gonna need to be an axial, really. No expense spared, Mike Atlantis. 4.7. Positive was that way. It's got the right and the right way up. It burns himself on hot component. Not yet, George. Let's think of a positive. George, you need to be more positive, George. You need to think positive things, George. You need to think Mr. Cruncher's going to absolutely cream this radio. It's going to be amazing. The best sounding Dynatron Atlantis on the planet. That's what you got to be thinking. None of this burning and not going to work and all the other doom and gloom stuff. Remove it from your mind, George. Think positive. Let's all give George positive thoughts. Let's all pray for George. Right, that's that one done. Let's have a look, see what the ODSR meter says. Other view would be the burner's entertainment. Yes, George, that would be the same. Ooh, yeah, not too bad. ESR's a bit high, but not a deal breaker. Not a deal breaker. I did change this cap here, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed that one, but the other one, as soon as I moved it, the leg dropped off, so I've replaced that one. That's just a non-polarized cap. That back down. So we've got these two as well, which were pretty much under that shield, so well, not just on the end of that shield. So what are these? 10 microfarad, that one is. Now from memory, these are a bit of a pig to get out. Yeah, this desoldering gun is it's needing a new element soon, I think. It keeps blocking and I do need to clean it out actually, because it's pretty full. That doesn't help either. Yeah, it's very difficult to melt the solder without adding more solder into it. So I add some more solder into that. So most of the solder on this has gone that crystalline sort of substance. And I tell you what, this was not like on the other Atlantis that I've worked on. They've twisted every component on this, which makes it really difficult to take them out. I do not want to damage the board. Let's desolder the other one while I'm in here. That is down there. Yeah, they've wrapped the legs on both of those. Why did they do that? How am I going to mend the bend in the tuning wheel? What I probably... Well, the problem is I don't really want to desolder the... not desolder, take the dial cord off of it, Jess. The dial cord removal is not on my list of favourite things to do, but it might end up having to be done. So we're going to have to take the spindle out, put it, get a couple pairs of adjustable spanners and bend it that way. I might heat it up with a blow lamp though, just to make it a little bit softer. That doesn't look, that looks like a resistor to me. Yes, it is. It is a monster, George. It's a beauty. Phew, I can smell fish here, so that cap is probably almost certainly gone, so that meter wasn't going to be very accurate, was it? Accurate? What's accurate? Tell you what, this solder does not want to move. Yeah, these are being particularly difficult to get out. There we are. So just snip the curled up bits off. Hopefully that didn't go in my cider. They should now. Ow. Whoa, there's the first burn, George. Not a full-on burn, but very hot. So both 10 microfarads. Let's get another couple. Let's chuck a couple decent caps at it. So they're opposite as well. So this one you can't really see there. This one is positive down, this one's negative down, just to complicate matters. Okay, I can remember how I did this last time. So basically I've got to solder that in first. So I did it last time. So that one's the other way round. That one is positive, negative down. That was positive down. You see what I'm up to? Yeah, just about. Let's go that way, this way, that way, this way, that way. There you go, George. First burn it. Well, it's not. It didn't burn. It's just hot. Burn was like the other day when I touched the soldering iron to the back of my hand. That burnt. Just reflow those joints as well because they don't look that brilliant. There we go. It's the bottom side. Let's have a look at the top. Yeah, looking good. Let's cut them off then. .5 ohm speakers. Whoa. So there's our two new caps pointing up in the air. They've got to come down over the top and join in some little slots in the top of those resistors. Tis a botch, alright. So I'm going to need to put a bit of heat shrink on there. So let's take this first one off. And it's difficult to show you, but they're in like a little slot on the end of the resistors. So the resistors have got like a V in the end of them. The capacitor leg has got to sit in that V. As I say, it's a real botch up really. It's not what you'd expect from Dynatron or the Hacker Brothers. Let's get a bit longer bit of heat shrink. Enough for a couple. So I need to sort of bend an L in the end, so to speak. Yeah, tricky. That's a tricky bit of soldering to do there. Hopefully it'll stay in there while I solder it. Yep, got that one. Let's move these out of the way. But this second one's harder again to get at because these are in the way. It's better. So I'm just going in with a bit of braid to take the solder off the end of the resistor. There he is. That was dropped out. Hot. Hot, hot. Hot to trot. So again, I'm going to bend that one and bend it down over. There we are. Solder it in quick before it decides to change its mind. There we go. Done. There we go. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is difficult to get you in there. So if you can see, the actual leads bend over the top of this lot, and they go down and they join the back of the resistors. Let's see if I can get you in on the back. There, you can just about see them. So that's what I was trying to do, was trying to solder those 2 points there. So say there's like a V in the back of the resistors at the bottom, and those two leads just solder into that V. So there you are, that's those two done. Looking good. Up a bit, down a bit, there we go. Thanks, Butch. That's the hardest one's done. I've got one more under there. I think that's it for electrolytics on that particular board. So that board will then be pretty much finished. And put that can back on. So this is the other one here. So again, we're going to have to add some soldering on it. think it's on the leg of that cap there. I don't think they would have. See, my desoldering tool's not even melting that. I think there's new element time for this one. And a good clean out. Hey, thank you, Sean. Good man. Good man. Thank you very much, Sean. Hope you're enjoying it, mate. I'd say I did do Sean's Atlantis for him, which I now believe Mr. Cody's is in the possession of. So that one's pretty much fully sorted. I think Sean done the casework on that one, and I've done the electrics for him. Back in the day. Back in the day. Am I saying that, Sean? That was that a year ago? Must have been a year ago. It's before NVCF, I think, wasn't it? Okay, so positive is there, negative there. So what's this one? 200 microfarads, and that's going to be a radio one. 200 at 10 volts. 220 was a 16. 10, 25. How many 16s left? Oh well. Stick a 25 volt one back in. Nichicon. Throw that away. This is difficult to get to as well, with this plate in the way. Can take the plate out of the way, but $2 years ago, Sean, was it? Bloody hell. Time flies by when you're a driver for a train. 2 years ago, eh? Certainly does fly by, doesn't it? Let's turn that racket off for a minute, because we'll have a quick sense check, catch up with a chat, and test this after I've recapped that main board. It does use these horrible little resistors, but to be fair, if they're working and there's no issue with the set, they can be left alone. They don't see a lot of current really. It's only the amplifier that we need to be extra careful. Where's the other one that we did? We check that one on the ESR. Let's just check these on the ESR meter then as well. Let's get these out. Pardon me. So this is a 200 microfarad at 10 volts. Ooh, 304. He's gone a bit high. And these, I suspected these because they don't look particularly healthy. Well, this one doesn't anyway. 10 microfarads. It's gone a little bit low, but he's okay. He's alright, that one actually. 8.98. Less than 1 ohm. Not bad. 10.62, both of them okay, even though they look leaky. They looked like they were leaking, but obviously not. Right, let's just test it again, make sure that we're still working. And then we'll move on to one of the tricky boards. Got just over an hour. We've got time, I reckon, to get that other AF 115 out. One thing with this set, it is fairly easy to hook it up for a test. You don't have to really solder anything back on. It's easy to just pop it in and out. So I'll say we're not working on the amplifier, so this isn't, those changes aren't going to make a lot of difference. Although they might increase the IF a little bit. Just got to find the test leads now because they've gone walkabout. There we are. Get the side out the way. Also, I've got to remember to put that other bit back on. Still on a shortwave, let's pop a wire on it. That's just with a clip lead on it, look.
Today we're hearing from people on the front line. Scheme taking part in the EU scheme to get medical kit, when the most senior civil servant at the Foreign Office said this afternoon it was a political decision, to use his phrase.
Well, I haven't seen that exchange, but I have spoken to the Foreign Secretary, and as far as I'm
not sure what that sounds to you like, but to me that sounds lovely, to be honest.
We did receive an invitation in the Department for Health, because it came to the Department for Health. It was put up to me to be asked, and we joined, so we are now members of that scheme. However, as far as I know, that scheme hasn't yet. I think the most important thing that we concentrate on is what are the offers that can get us the most PPE.
Meter is working fine. You can see the needle swinging.
Can to make that happen.
in the text, the motto that Gerard has used as his main theme for the piece that recurs. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yo.
Healthcare workers, masks.
I think we can safely say that that is still working, don't you? Yeah, it's just the microphone, George. It sounds fine here, mate. You've got to trust me. It sounds fine here. There's no issue with the sound. I'll have to play with the microphone settings when we get round to the finale. I'm still debating what to do with my radio mic, really, whether I just repair it myself and sod the warranty, because if I repair it myself I'll void the warranty on it. That's the only problem. But if I've got to send it away for repair, it could take months. I don't know. I'm okay with this one for the time being, though. It does work well. Alright, let's pop this shield back on then, because I think everything in that area is done and dusted. It all works fine, so we can pop that shield back on. Let's do that before I forget. Did I put that little screw back in there safely? Yes, I did. Brett, thanks very much, mate. I was wondering if you're still there, Brett. I know you like a bit of ESR meterage. Nothing really out of the way on this, though. The issue is going to be the amplifier. I mean, you know, it does sound really good, but it could sound even better with a bit of jiggery pokery. So let's try and do this without burning my fingers. It's getting hot, it's getting hot, it's getting hot. Ah, there we go. Let's just put some fresh solder in the bottom there. You're going home. Catch you in a bit then, Brett. Cheers, mate. Let's pop the temperature up a little bit, actually. There we go, that's our shield back on. Can screw that one up tight. That's that board finished then, totally, really. Next little devil of a board is this one. Not this one here. Really, really difficult to get into. That's one of those things, it's just not meant really for servicing, is it? I mean, look at it. Look where it's positioned. It's right in there. Now, as I say, I've done these before. You've pretty much got to unscrew the thing and then take the wires off. And this little brass, was one brass one and one fibre spacer that's got to go back as well. Easiest thing would just be to snip it and replace it in situ, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take the board out because I like a challenge. I like a challenge. Curious George. Got to shut this app up. Right, I'm just going to take some photos. Photos is very important when you're working on a Dynatron Atlantis. Photos is very important. I have got a lot of photos of these that I've taken before. So let's take a photo of that. So the purple is going to that black one there. And down in underneath there we've got a white one. And there's also a white wire right down the bottom there, but that one normally can stay on. I'll take a picture of it anyway. If I can get it in focus. There we are. So the brown wires aren't actually attached to the board as such, they're attached to the tuning gang. It's just those two black wires. I might even take them right out, I don't know, let's have a look. Let me have a look, see what's the best way to tackle this. So we've got the purple wire and the black wire connect to that pin, so let's get those off. Let me know where they go now. That's the purple wire off. Let's take that white wire off there. If you'll come off, come on. They've wrapped that one as well, that's nice of them. That's that one off. So these two black wires, they've pretty much got to come off. If they will come off, again I doubt whether they will. That one has. And this one, again it's all on that polystyrene cap. There we go. So next trick is to how to get the screwdriver in there. I think I might just be able to squeeze it in, that one in there. First screw out. So we've got to remember that the metal spacer is on the top and the fibre insulated one is on the bottom. So I'm sure Mike can understand looking at this why. Oh, hello. Oh, that's, of course, that's. I was just going to say there's a leg off that transistor, but that's the shield wire that I pulled off before. So I say, I'm sure Mike can see why I wasn't in an extreme hurry to get this one done. So that silvery one went with that one. What are we on about now then? Fresh solder in the bottom. Yeah, it could be painful, George. Right, so we've still not got the board clear yet, but it is nearly there. I might need to just pop that other white wire off so we can get it right out. We've got a little inductor there which we've got to be really careful of. So our purple wire, let's get that one out of the way. Yeah, let's take the other white one off. It's just going to make it so much easier, isn't it? It's not going to be easy to solder back in, mind you. In fact, it's going to be a pig of a job to solder that one back in. Nope. Snip. There he is. And there he is. So this is our little, I believe this is the AFC board, but you can see we have got an AF116 in there which we're going to need to replace. Let's just do it with braid, I think. That desoldering tool's doing my head in. We'll do it with solder sucker and braid. If I can find my solder sucker, which is probably still here from the other day. Yes, it is. Well, Sean getting the spuds on. Let's get rid of that blob of solder in there. There we go. So yeah, be careful of this. It literally is someone's coiled a wire and then screwed a ferrite core inside it. It's very much, again, a bit of an afterthought almost, but I don't suppose there was room on the board for it. So the board is marked again by the looks of it. Collector, base, emitter and shield. So it's that one, that one, that one, those three there that we've got to do. So again, they're looking very crystalline, so I'm going to resolder them. It's one of those jobs, Mike. It's oh, I've got to do that. Atlantis. Do I need to do that? But yeah, it's near its turn, so. There was a shield in there. There he is, a dirty little thing, a dirty little transistor. It's a dirty little old AF116. Goddamn thing. I'm going slightly mad again on my apologies. There we go. So say, we snipped the leg off of that one, but we'll test it in a minute, see if it's got some shorts. But let's get a Russian. Let's get a Russian. Let's get a Russian in the house. Was I going to do a Russian, or was I going to put an AF117 in there? I've got a Russian out now, so we're going to put a Russian in there. Shame we can't have a bit of music in it, really. Yeah, YouTube music library and that's alright, but it ain't the same, is it? It ain't the same, is it? Sean got me really excited then. For 10 seconds, that's a hell of a lot. 10 seconds would be amazing. Just getting rid of the flux on that a minute. Tidy it up a bit. Right, let's have a look at our pinout on these. Let me think if I can remember. That's base. That's collector. No, that's shield and collector. Let's get me a little bit of paper out. Shield collector. There it is, if anybody wants to remember it again. Shield collector base emitter, looking at the base of the transistor. So shield collector base emitter, right. And what's it looking like here? So we've got shield. Shield and collector, so they're the wrong way around, so that needs to be there. Emitter and base. Okay, so I'm going to have to cross those two over. Shield collector. Emitter and base. Yes, the shield and the collector are going to have to cross. So let's pop a little bit of heat shrink on there. So I've got the black wire as the shield, then collector, shield and collector are right, but this is particularly tricky because it looks like all of the legs are crossing. Just wondering if I go that way. That way then. It's like a puzzle this, trying to work out how to get these in sometimes. So shield, collector, yeah, that one's really screwed up, that one. Both pairs of legs crossing. Let me just have a quick look at a AF127. That would work better, see? Because the base and emitter are the same. So it looks like we're going to have to put an AF127 in there. We don't have to, it's just going to make it a damn sight easier, that's all. 124, 125, let's move 127s. 125. 127. I've got a lot of 127s left by the looks of it. Rare beasts. Rare. Now, is there any reason why I can't use an AF127 instead of a 126? Let's have a look. So, the AF126 PMP for use as IF amplifier and FM receivers. And then the AF127 mixer, oscillator, and IF amplifier in medium wave and long wave AM receivers. So why is the difference then? Frequency's the same. Yeah, I can't see much of a difference between those. Bizarre, because I mean they're both the same. All the spec is exactly the same on both, I think. Yeah, there's absolutely no difference between those transistors at all, according to the spec sheet. So I don't know. It's just, for me, that's going to make it easier for me to install an AF127 than it is a GT322B. So let's try again then. So it's the collector and the shield that are going to be crossing. So I've only got to cross 2 legs rather than 4, if you know what I mean, if I use this transistor. I know you're all screaming, use the Russians, save the Brits, but you know, needs must. This is going to be damn sight easier to get in the circuit than the Russians. So that's my recommendation, people. If you're doing one of these, this particular transistor, stick an AF126 or a 127 in it, or a 125 or a 124 even. So that's collector, shield. That should be, so that's base. Not the easiest of things to do, but you know, I like fiddly stuff, as you all know. Do a good old fiddle. Ooh. Let me double check my pinouts here. So shield there, collector, yes, base, top, emitter, yeah, there we go. There she is, in there. Right, solder time, cider time. Cheers everybody, by the way. I don't think I've said cheers yet, have I? Anybody else new joined? What's the chat going? Cheers everybody. Hope you're enjoying these midweek streams as well. Well, you see, Paddy, how you doing? Hope you're enjoying these midweek streams. As I say, I'm doing them as sort of extra to my Sunday stream, just to give you something to watch, really, if you are stuck without anything to do. So don't forget, if you are appreciating them, give them the thumbs up, and please comment as well. Because if people are commenting, then I know that they're watching them and they're enjoying them. Okay, let's get rid of the flux on that. As with all these boards, most of the flux is from previous soldering, nothing to do with me whatsoever. Right, so keep them coming, eh? Keep the midweek streams going. Yeah, let's say, as long as they're supported, then I'll quite happily carry on with them till this madness is over. But as I say, I am sort of trying to do customer jobs, so it's not all doom and gloom for me, because I'm getting work done as well at the same time. So, say, Sundays I tend to reserve for working on my own stuff, or having to play about with something that I fancy doing. Okay, so that's done. This board is working, as I say. There's no issues with the IF. Let's tidy up these terminals where these wires have got to go. This one I've got to get off. People watching. Yeah, good stuff, Doug. I think people do. Everybody takes part, don't they? I think you look forward to these now. It's still a bit like the Christmas ones I did, wasn't it? Where I did a stream a day. That was hard going, really, especially being that I wasn't very well as well. Yeah, I did struggle a little bit with that, purely because my health wasn't that brilliant. I did enjoy doing them though. It's great to see everybody, and you loved them Christmas jumpers, didn't you? You loved them Christmas jumpers. I must have one of the world's best collections of tacky Christmas tops by now. I'm sure I'll find some more for this year though. And apologies for talking about Christmas already, but I like Christmas. You don't have jumpers in Canada. To be honest, it was a bit hot here Christmas last year. T-shirts are the best thing, really. So I've got a lot of Christmas T-shirts. Look, there you go. I've probably got more Christmas T-shirts than I have jumpers, to be fair. There we go. That's that one done. That's that one clear. Get a wire in there now. I'm just going to have to tack them on there as that got out. Yeah, that's got a hole in it. That one going to have to wrap. Right, so now we've got the tricky job of trying to get these wires reattached here, and that is a tricky job. Especially that one there. Plus we've also got to get this board back in with these screws, so this is really going to take the rest of the live stream to get this back together, I think. I'm not being negative, but I've done these before. Let's clear down a bit. Get some of the bits out of the way. Okay. Let's see if we can rewire this beast. Right, wire strippers at the ready. forceps. So I really don't want to break one of these wires off. Hopefully you can see what I'm up to. I'm a bit close. Okay, let's zoom back out a bit close. Simon! The troll got before you. Yeah, unfortunately, Simon. Too much solder. Too much solder, it won't go in the hole. So I've got to thread that white wire into that hole there. And then somehow I've got to solder it as well. Without pulling any other wires off. Okay. That should go in the hole. Why are you not going in the hole? Why don't you want to go in there? Because you've gone all horrible on me, haven't you? Yes, there you are. Stay there. Do not move. Again, we don't really want to be burning any wires. And there is some of those polystyrene caps down there as well that I really don't like the soldering iron on them. I think. Yes, we're in. Okay, these wires are not looking too healthy, but I think we'll be okay with all of those three. And the perp. Now we've got the job of doing these. Can you remember? I think it was a chrome one, chrome on top, and the. Let's do the bottom one first because that's going to be the hardest one to get in. That's these screws and this fibre mounting block. Which, I think where I am now. No, actually, no, they're both hard to get in. There's no there's no cutting corners with it. Both of these are a pain in the neck to get in. Oh dear, oh dear. Stay. Thank you. It's cool. Next one. No, I'm going to use the forceps for that one. 8.4% was problematic. You're testing an antenna driver, were you? Ooh. Oh, he's got it caught. I've got it caught. Oh, we're in business. Right. I think that white wire went there. Let me get my cider down my neck a minute. Whew. Done. Let's get the latest offering from Mrs. Cruncher in. Are you a bit sleepy? Sleepy, sir? Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. No, I'm fine at the moment. I actually got 8 hours sleep last night. Don't tell anybody, but I got 8 hours sleep. Woohoo! Don't get that very often. Right, phone. Just double check where this white wire goes. I think I know where it goes, but I'm just going to double check it anyway. Yes, it goes up onto that top pillar and joins that one there. So that's an easy one to put on, to be fair. So let's don't think it'll go through the hole anymore. It might do. It might do. It could well do. Get off. There's going to be a bit of burn back on the sheathing on these. There's nothing you really can do about that. I don't know if anyone's got any tips about not burning back the wire when you're doing this sort of work. See, that joint is done, but it doesn't look very nice. That solder's rubbish. Better. Now the first one. The 8.4%, pretty high octane. It is. It is. It's the general. So I've still got the board fairly loose at the moment because it just means I can maneuver it a little bit to my advantage. So I think I'm going to have to put a bit of flux on that and just use the solder that's on there. I might actually put a fresh pit on that one. Make it a bit easier. Apologies, well, you should be able to see roughly what I'm doing. I can't really get you in here because I can't really see myself. Almost special brew. Yes, I am supporting local businesses, Doug. They keep sending me things saying thank you for supporting your local business. I said thank you very much. Let's that one back on. And this one then. Mike! From Making Mike Happy. You off, Mike. Cheers, mate. Thanks very much again today, Mike. See you on Thursday if you're about. Same time, same place. I'll be there. Thank you very much, Mike. Catch you soon, mate. That was in nicely. Let's pop that on. She's run out as well, Georgia. See, well, I've just bought Mrs. Cruncher a new box because she doesn't really agree with the strong stuff. Well, she does, but it don't really agree with her very much. So I've just got her some weaker stuff now. I've got her some 6.8% stuff now. No, 6.8, 6.4 maybe. There he is then. The trickiest board on the Dynatron Atlantis to do. Sorted. Let's use a slightly smaller screwdriver to spin that in. And there. There you are. What a crazy place to put a little circuit board, isn't it? What were they thinking? It's almost like it was tacked on as an afterthought, really. Right, all our wires are still on. Let's have a clear up and then we'll get him back on for a test. We're doing good for time. We're doing well for time. So this is the AFC board, so we need to make sure that we test the AFC. If I forget, remind me. But yeah, that is a tough board to work on, that one. It's a crazy place to put it. Free shipping, it is free shipping. I think it's normally £8 shipping. £8 shipping, Doug. But they've got it. They're doing it for free at the moment, so it's £8 saving on what it would normally cost. And when I used to drive to the actual place where they make it, and I might show you a photo of that in a minute, of me pouring it out. A few Christmases ago, or a couple Christmases ago I think, my lad took a photo of me behind the counter. I had a bit of a tour of the actual... Is it a brewery? A cider maker? Is a cider maker a brewery? I suppose it is, isn't it? So let's crack on and get this back in. Give it another test. Oh, he says... Pulling his soldering iron out with it. Sorry, Mr. Soldering Iron, didn't mean to do that to you. Especially being it was turned on as well. definitely didn't want me to service the radio, John, did they? But they've got no choice because I've done it. Well, I'm doing it. I've not done it yet. Still a long way off, but we're getting through the harder stuff, to be honest. One of the tricky things on this is the case. That's going to take some time. I won't do that on camera because I'm sure some of you like watching paint dry, but I don't really. It's a case of getting this electronically done, and then I'll crack on a couple of days, and it'll be done. It'll be done, Mike. And off in the post. Right, everything's there connected. Yeah, nice, some nice nasty on it still. It's nice nasty. It's two words you don't expect to go together, does it really? It's amazing what words come together when you've been on the cider. Right. It is a cider mill, Doug, is it? No, I don't think they called it a cider mill over here. Right, that's all. Hopefully it still works. Of course it does. Right. Nice.
It's Rick Edwards here. It is Tuesday evening, 6:10, another glorious day in a glorious part of the world. Fingers crossed you've been able to get out and get your allowed exercise today. I have to...
The number of deaths is continuing to decline, backing the view that we may be past the peak of the epidemic.
The government's COVID-19 testing coordinator believes there's now enough capacity to swab any frontline worker who needs to be checked, including police officers and teachers. Professor John Newton says 27 drive-in facilities are up and running. More swabs are being delivered to hospitals and for anyone unable to get to a testing centre. Around 20,000 tests are currently being taken each day, against a target of 100,000, which the government said it would meet by the end of the month. Professor Newton insists that improvements are continually being made to the system.
There's huge progress.
He's only done it. Done the nightmare board. I've fixed the nightmare board. He has fixed the nightmare board. Good news, because that transistor is a bit of a pig to do. Let's have a look at it then. No capacitors on that board, luckily, just that one transistor to do. Well, that's odd enough, isn't it? So we'll look, see then. Let's come that way a little bit. So I'm going to go to the can. So obviously if I've got a short, it's going to read something like that. So I'm going to go to the can, and then I'm going to go to the collector first. So it should stay as OL. There should be no movement on it. So we have got a bit of resist, 2 mega ohms. So it's not a massive short, but there is a short there. And base, 2 mega ohm. An emitter, 25 ohm short to emitter alert. So that's That would have killed the FM totally dead, that one. But, you know, it was worth doing. It was worth doing. So the next installment on Thursday, this little monster. Again, really tricky to get at. You need a hot soldering iron for that. Trust me, you need some decent soldering kit to get that board out. There's no point me attempting it now because I'd rather just do it as a one-off fresh, if you know what I mean. So the Atlantis thought it would get me, but it didn't. So the amplifier, it already sounds amazing, to be honest. So it's, I'll have to sort the mic out so you can hear it properly. Resonator, how you doing, mate? Bill's not back. So say I will at some stage take it out and blow all that dust off of it, but at the moment we're just doing the electronics. We're not servicing it as such yet. So done some tricky stuff on it today, amazingly. Due to the cider intake, it's quite surprising it's got done, but it has. It's all worked very well. Inside this can, as I say, no, I won't bother taking the screws out even on that. I'll leave it as is for now. But yeah, it's looking good. We're moving, we've just got this to do, then an overall service, check the alignment, and then this is good. Just the amplifier then. We'll probably do the amplifier before we mess with the alignment, would be best. So yeah, there we go. Let's turn around this way then. Let's catch up with the chat even. Yeah, Rez is not Bill. So let's just see if we can find some stuff out for you. Yeah, let's have a look. So pardon me. Here we are, my favourite page on the internet. Look. So this is the cider that I'm drinking at the moment. So at the moment they got free shipping on, and again I've got no affiliation to these people. They don't even know that I've got a YouTube channel. So you know, I'm anonymous. But you know, if they want to sponsor me and chuck me a barrel, they can. So yeah. Free shipping at the moment, so they're ciders. This is Mrs. Cruncher's absolute favourite, Devon Red. It's a bit of a session cider. It's quite low alcohol, but she loves the stuff. Creedy Vintage, very nice. That's what we've drunk that already. We've done 20 litres. This is what Mrs. Cruncher's got in at the moment, Straw and Oak. 6.7%, but it's a proper traditional cider, so you can see it's very dry. It's a dry cider, it's cloudy, it's proper traditional cider. Creedy Vintage, that was the first one we bought in, 7.4%, but that's more of a medium cider. It's clear, it's not hazy, cloudy even. but it's matured for longer in wooden casks, so it's very drinkable. That's very nice, Cree vintage. But the one that I'm on at the moment is it's not even listed on here. That's how bad it is. Fruit Ranger small batch. You can't. I've got to go. Where have I got to go for that? I think it's under fine cider, is it? Bag in box cider. The General. 63 quid a box, so it ain't cheap. I'm just trying to see if I can find it here. Traditional cider. The General, there we are. Sale, it says. Sale on the General. That's what I'm on today, let people. 8.4% cask aged vintage cider, and they've got 100-year-old oak vat down there. This is the only brew that they do in that vat. It's amazing stuff. Bottles are out of stock, look. It's good stuff. It's hellish strong, but 20-litre bag in the box. They got 13 of those in stock, look. Good stuff. Good stuff. So of course what you want to all see is me actually in the brewery. Actually pouring stuff out, don't you? Fanny's Brambles, good stuff. They got some weird and wonderful ciders. Yeah, some of their flavoured ciders. They got Fanny's Bramble, Berry Lane, Old Blossom, Midwinter Spice. I had some of that. That was really nice. Cider Ginger. Cider Ginger, not ginger cider. Cider Ginger. Proper West Country stuff in it. Rib Tickler. Sweet Hangy Downs. Slack McGirdle. Oh my god. Slack McGirdle. Do you want some Slack McGirdle? There you go. All you cider lovers out there, you can have some Slack McGirdle, look, or some Hangy Downs. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Let's just catch up when we chat. How are we doing? Got 10 minutes of messing about left, look. Good stuff, well, you see. Proper gear. Tetley's tea. Not the same, Gary. You need to buy some, Sean. I think we ought to club together and buy Sean a box of the General. We just need to ban him from any chat. Any chat. We ban Sean from everything until he's done it and finished it. We let him back in then. I think I would floor you, Sean. That would absolutely floor you. Bottle of Pernod. That's better stuff, Gary. Pernod and black, isn't it? That's the drink back in the day. Cool. Mrs. Cruncher's cooking a curry by the smell of it. She is cooking a curry by the smell of it. Let me see if I can find these old pictures of mine then. Let's have a look. Where's my... Slack McGirdle. Oh, we do more than that, I think. It knocks your legs off, not just slacking your girdle. Let's see if I can find it. It would have been 2018, December. Here we are, here we are, here we go. So I'm doing like cider recommendations now, aren't I? Right. So these pictures were taken by me in December 2018. I usually pick my lads up from Exeter at Christmas and bring them up Boxing Day normally. But it's always a good excuse to stop off at the cider place on the way. So that barrel in the middle that you can see with the ladder on it is what they actually brew the General in. So it's a unique barrel. All the rest are like modern barrels. I can't remember, they did say where they got them all from now, but that barrel in the middle is worth thousands and thousands of pounds apparently. Really, really expensive. I think they got it from a wine place originally, a chateau or something over in France it came from, I think, originally. And you can see the more modern vats there. There it is again. I just need to go in there and hug that every so often when I'm passing, really. And this is their fruit processing, and this little container here is what they call, I think it's the brewer's dregs or something. I think it's like all the bottoms of the barrels, so they filter it off and put it in this, and before it's properly pasteurized. So it's mega high strength stuff. Apparently that's the brewer's perks or something like that they call it. I can't remember what they call it now. And there he is. Look at me. Oh, they had Fanny's Ruin as well then. That gin, mint, and Fanny's Bramble. There's me. Dear oh dear, it's bad, isn't it? I've obviously got a problem, people. But yeah, he actually let me come in behind and pour it out myself, because I took my keg in. I took Bubba keg in with me. So there you are. Bit of fun. Bit of fun. So let's have a look. You've been drinking a vineyard there while cooking, Sean, so sorry if you don't make any sense. Devon Red is a session cider. What's what they say? It's about 4.4 I think it is, sure. Got sticks, it probably is. Creedy, not creepy, creedy. Oh, you got that. Looking forward to Thursday. Cheers, Mike. Let's all buy some cider. Dozed off. Now it's beer. Spanky, you're naughty. Dry cider, just what you need before operating power tools. Hi, John, how are you? It's good stuff. You like to see Sean quarantine the box when it arrives. It is, Mike. Free shipping to anywhere in the UK, mate. George has a couple boxes in. It's good stuff. Sam Inches do deliver to us, Sean. They didn't. Originally, I rang them and said, look, you know, can we pop down and get a box? They said, no, sorry. I said, would you deliver? They said, no, we're only delivering locally at the moment, but they have now decided to deliver nationwide, I think. Sam Inches. It's not Sam Inches anymore, it's Sam's, but yes. Red Witch. I do need a haircut. You're waiting for red wine to be brought to you. I had cider brought to me, Chris. Can you send a link to that cider company so you can order some? Of course I will, Mike. Here we go. Here we go. At the moment, Chris, they're doing nationwide free delivery. I'd like to say if you mention me, you get something off, but they don't know me. They just know that there's a guy near Torrington that drinks a lot of cider. Breakfast wine. The wife just heard you mention that you're waiting for wine, Chris. No worries, Mike. You enjoyed breakfast ale at Cruncher Towers. You must do it again, Sean. Of course you can, mate. You come on down. I'll have to put that in me keywords, won't I? You've got the COVID cut. Well, you see, I've got the COVID hippie cut coming on. Look, you know, got Mrs. Cruncher calls it the curtains because they keep coming over like curtains, and you open it up, and I've got a bum head on top. Look, so bum head. Can you remember the old bum head cuts back in the day? I did actually. Hi Morgan, how are you? I did have a phone call the other day from Bay Brewery. Wanted to send me a box of beer, but apparently they're just catching up with the backlog at the moment, and then they'll be out to deliver me a box of beer. So that'll be 20 litres of real ale coming. Like I say, I think we're all going to need all going to need to go cold turkey after the lockdown, aren't we? As George says. You've just caught us at the back end, Morgan. Actually, we're just wrapping up now, but I did say to Mrs. Cruncher I'd be finished at 6:30, and we were at 6:30, people. So as I say, if you're interested in building the crystal kit, you need to let me know somehow. Drop me a message on the video. Drop me a comment just saying, yes, Graham, I'm up for building a crystal radio, and we'll maybe look at a couple of weeks' time and we'll get the bits together and build one. So if you check out Sunday's video, there's lots of links in there to all the different sites that sell bits and pieces and information. I did say that we would look at the YouTube poll that I put up. Pardon me, so let's just quickly do that. So this is the poll that I put on earlier. So if you haven't voted on this, if you would like to vote on that, please. So if you go to my channel, if you go to my homepage, you'll find a community tab. If you click on the community tab, you'll see like little posts that I've put in there from time to time. That's when Jess won the clock alert. All sorts of little bits I just post in there from time to time. It's not something that I use on a regular basis. If I just got to put something out to the community, I'll pop it in there. But I put this little poll on this morning, look, and at the start of today, well, the start of today's live stream, we had 91% in favour of transistor radio repairs, 9% Volve radios, nothing for amateur and CB radio, nothing for record players, and nothing for vintage computers. So I did say I'd refresh that right at the end of the stream, so let's do that. See if it's changed. And there was only 11 votes on that earlier alert, so there's only 11 people have took the time to vote. So let's have a quick refresh. Oh, we've got 26 now. Oh, Volv Radio Repairs creeping up, look. Amateur Radio and CB is creeping up as well. Ooh. Getting interesting. Still Transistor Radio Repair is way out in front. I'm assuming you can see that. Yes, you can. So yeah, still Transistor Radio Repair is out in front. So it's just interesting for me to know what sort of videos to do, really. I've not done anything on Amateur Radio or CB, really. But it looks like some people are interested in that. So we can trickle a bit in from time to time. One of the midweek live streams, maybe, doing a bit of amateur radio, making contact with people over the air, can put out a frequency and do some sort of net. Could try that. I don't see why not. I still cannot get that blimmin' radio linked up to my computer. I don't know what's going on with that. I'm really struggling to get that done. So if anybody knows how to connect a micro ham, well, I've got the micro ham micro keyer connected to the computer, but I can't connect that to the software, if you know what I mean. The login software that I use, which is N1MM Plus, I can't connect that to it. I don't know what's going on. But, yeah, no vintage 405 line telly, unfortunately, Pat. But you know. Thanks, John. Yeah, if you've got a CB you want to send in for repair, I'm quite happy to have a look at that. Be interesting. So Chris is looking for quiz ideas from our messenger group. We're going to do a quiz on the messenger group on Saturday night. So quiz. Let's do a bit of. I think one of the goats has swallowed a. Yeah, it's better. I think one of the goats has swallowed a capacitor leg again. Yes. So yeah, if you're in the messenger group, then Chris is after some questions. People, we needs them in fairly soon so we can collate them. But yeah, CBs, quite happy to have a CB in to have a look at. I've got some CBs here. I donated a couple to Chris to have a play with. Cheers, Darren. So there you are, people. That's it for today. I'm going to go down. I can smell my curry cooking very nicely, and I've had a fair bit of cider, so I best call it a day while I'm still upright. And hope you've enjoyed that today. Bit of everything today, messing about and that. So I will catch you lot on Thursday, and we'll dig into that horrible RF module, FM RF module on the Atlantis. If we get that done soon enough, I'll crack on and we'll get the amp done. And that could be it electrically sorted then. So there you go. Catch you all, people, on Thursday. Bye for now. Have a good one. And stay safe, please.